Hello YouTube. Today we're going to be comparing the new Microsoft Surface to the 3rd generation iPad, the latest generation released thus far. We just got this shipped in after we pre-ordered it last week, and so I'm going to be giving an overview of the physical features of each device. To start off, we have the iPad here, smart cover. I'm just going to be showing you each side. Here we have the Apple 30-pin connector, which has now been changed to the Lightning connector on the newer devices. On this side, we don't really have anything except the hinge for the smart cover. On the top, we've got headphone jack there, sleep button there, and on this side we have the mute switch and the volume controls. On the back of the iPad, we just have the usual iPad text there, Apple logo, and we have the camera. We don't have any sort of flash or anything, but the camera is right below the sleep button there. If we open this up, then you can see we've got the home button and the front-facing camera right there. So that's a quick overview of the physical features of the iPad. Now I'm going to be showing you the Microsoft Surface. So for those of you that haven't seen or heard about the Microsoft Surface, it's basically Microsoft's tablet. It runs Windows 8. This one is running Windows 8 RT. You can go pick one up. They're about $500, so same price as the iPad. And it comes with a touch cover, which doubles as a keyboard. So that's one thing that the iPad doesn't have, is a keyboard. But the thing that basically serves as the smart cover comes with a keyboard that plugs directly into the device. So I'm going to be showing you each side. Once again, we don't really have anything along this side. Here we have the power connector right there, USB, I believe that's micro USB, and a speaker. Here we just have the hinge for the touch cover. And here we have the volume buttons, headphone jack, another speaker, and this is just the slot to open up the kickstand. You can see also here we have the camera in the back. Once again, no sort of flash or anything. If we open it up, you can see there's the Windows 8 screen, and then it tilts to be the right direction. And then we have the front-facing camera and the Windows logo. So obviously, straight off the bat, these two have significantly different sizes. If we open up the iPad, I can show you guys the two screens side by side, and you can see that they're actually fairly similar in width, but we've got an extra 2 inches about on the Microsoft Surface, so we've got the thickness of that bezel and then about another inch. Let me show you that difference there. So the Microsoft Surface has a 10.6 inch screen, the iPad has a 9.7, so you do have about an extra inch of diagonal space on the Microsoft Surface. The aspect ratio is significantly different, and that's very noticeable because you can see if you hold this, it's much like sort of a longer device, and then this comes much closer to being like a square. Now, software-wise, Windows 8 runs fully on this, so it's like a full-fledged operating system, and then you've got iOS, which is more of a mobile-based operating system. There isn't a whole lot of difference, especially since Windows 8 has been redesigned for the touchscreen, but I'm not going to go too deep into software. As far as thinness goes, I was very surprised by how thin the Microsoft Surface is. It is thicker than the iPad. You can see we've got like probably a few millimeters of difference there if I run my finger over from one to the next. But if we take away their covers so that those aren't factoring into it, then they're much closer to being the same thickness. So that was one thing that really surprised me, especially since the Microsoft Surface is like a full-fledged computer and the iPad is tablet. I'll see if I can compare the two thicknesses for you side by side. So you can see there they actually have fairly similar thicknesses despite this being heralded as a full-fledged computer. If we go ahead and open up the keyboard and the kickstand, hold on, then you can see it becomes sort of a much more full-fledged computer. If we type, they don't actually press. They're touch sensitive though, so it makes a little sound. But that's one thing that I really like about the Microsoft Surface, is it has this keyboard. As far as weight is concerned, the Microsoft Surface is a little bit heavier, but not very noticeably. And both of these come in 32 and 64 gigabyte models, and the iPad has an extra, which is 16. So that basically sums up the overview of the Microsoft Surface versus the iPad. If you have anything else that you'd like us to compare between the two, please leave a comment. But that's just the basic overview of the two physical features of the device and their accessories. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, please subscribe.